politics regularly, and they make determinations about which pieces of information hit the threshold to be able to need to pass up the chain and what kind of priority to meet on it. If it's what I have done over the past week is ensure that any threat, no matter how low the threshold, no matter how unsavory or unreliable the source, should be elevated if it talks about an MP and their families. Going forward, that will be the story. But this information...
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, the Prime Minister is basically saying it just wasn't important enough for anyone to be informed that a Canadian MP had his family threatened by a foreign operative in order to punish him for a vote. Mr. Speaker, no one believes the Prime Minister when he says that. Everybody knows that that is among the highest importance. And if his government is operating in a way that that is not important, then clearly he cannot defend the national interest of this country. Mr. Speaker, recently we just had testimony from the chair of the Trudeau Foundation, who said that he can't tell us to whom the donation from Beijing was returned. Can the Prime Minister tell us?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Leader of the Opposition, I have to give credit where it's due, almost got it right in the beginning of his last question. It's that CSIS itself makes determinations on the credibility, the threat level, the seriousness of various informations that come in, and they make determinations, quite appropriately, about what to do with that information, how high to elevate it, how urgent it needs to be brought forward. One can draw certain conclusions about the decision they made based on certain elements of information as to the critical nature or the seriousness of the actual information.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
The question was about the donation from Beijing to the Trudeau Foundation. Now, we know that the Prime Minister's own brother processed the donation. We know CSIS intelligence from an intercepted phone call of Beijing's diplomats revealed that the purpose of the donation was to politically influence this Prime Minister. But now the new development is that the chair of the Trudeau Foundation says he can't tell where the donation ended up. It says they gave it back, but they don't know who they gave it back to. Will the Prime Minister support new powers for the Auditor General to fully audit the Trudeau Foundation so that we can get to the bottom of the scandal?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as the member of opposite really, fully knows, as all MPs have heard me say probably a dozen times in this House, it's been close to 10 years since I've had any direct or indirect engagement with the Trudeau Foundation. He needs to continue to direct his questions to them.
Yeah. The Honourable Member for Burnaby South.
First Nations are left out of major natural resource decisions because their right to the land is not recognized. The government has obligations.